Train Station H here, probably the nerdiest thing I've ever done. If you don't know Pokemon Black and White, the Unova region is based on New York, and here we are on the border of New York, on a fan-created area I call East Unova. These are the parts of New York City and New Jersey Game Freak used to create Unova. To create East Unova, I added Jamaica Bay and the Rockaway Peninsula to the map, which is a part of New York City that Game Freak neglected to put into the game. Part of Jamaica Bay is actually playable in Pokemon Black and White in the form of the Pidove Sunken Ruins. Therefore, it took very little effort to add the Rockaway Peninsula and Jamaica Bay into the game in what I call East Unova. Though it's simply my fan creation, for the purpose of this video, let's treat East Unova as though it were actual canon part of the Unova region. We'll find that many locations actually featured in Pokemon Black and White can be seen from East Unova, so it provides a pretty interesting perspective that we wouldn't be able to get within those regions themselves. We have just entered the border into New York City proper, and this area down here is the secret town. This is New York. A few feet away from where the subway would be, the A train, and there's the beginning. Over there is the very beginning of the boardwalk area that stretches all the way down the peninsula. There's the sign for Seagard Boulevard, which is where we're at, which is where I named the town in fiction after. We'd be right there, and here would be like New Vema Town in relation to the rest of Unova, and the Pidove Sunken Ruins would be right there. This is going down Seagard Boulevard and what in East Unova I would call Secret Town. Of course, in New York City being the big city, the neighborhoods mesh into each other more. They aren't very isolated by large distances as they would be out in the country or in your traditional Pokemon game setup, including Unova as it's depicted in the games and in the anime. At the end of Seagard Boulevard, even though it's above ground, what we have here is a New York City subway train. And this line, the A line, goes all the way to the northern tip of Manhattan. So of course that would be the equivalent of the battle subway. Of course, in real life the subway network is much more extensive. And once we leave Seagard Boulevard, we are starting to enter the area which in East Unova I would clump into Arverna City. These woods here might not be your idea of New York City, but we're actually directly adjacent the most famous subway line in the entire subway network. There used to be wild rabbits when I was little coming through here that I'd even see on the way to the subway stations when we were walking there from home, so naturally you could imagine the sort of wild Pokemon that would be living there. And now a lot of these areas are being developed in Arverna proper, which I'll show you in a minute. Alright, we've just crossed the station at 59th Street, which is we're officially in Arverna, where it is in relation to the rest of Unova, which I call Arverna City. This is my former stomping grounds. I don't live here anymore, but it's a nice dear of my heart. There's the train right there. And over there is this all used to be woods like further back down there. Now that's all developed into nice new condos, very picturesque, very classy and nice looking. And over there, my very own train station where I used to catch the train from. Haven't ridden that in too long. I'd like to sometime soon. Okay, here's some in construction houses also in Arverna or Arverna City, and here's another lot. And directly in front of us is that's the entrance to Arverna Boardwalk, which I mentioned in my my Unova video as being part of my fan-created East Unova location. Down there are all these new houses here. This is all would be Arverna or Arverna City in East Unova. And here I'm about to get a shot that's exactly from one of the photos that I used in my video. See, there's the flag, and once we have a traffic circle here. Not a whole too many of these around here previously. Yeah, there's those cord set, and here's down that street. And when I used the video, in the photo I used for the Arverna City section of my slideshow, and the train trestle, and so forth. Wow, there's a giant cow over there for some reason. That's interesting. Don't know how well you can see that over there. I had a good view of it before, but right there is the train bridge that takes the train over Jamaica Bay, or what would be Undella Bay, through to Bay Town, which would be right there. And that would be Cross Bay Town. The Undella Bay Sunken Ruins would be like right there, literally exactly where my finger is, and there would Cross Bay Town be. So this stuff is not at all far removed from the playable areas of the game. And looking back over here, in a moment we'll have a good shot. We've just left Arverna City pretty much, or Arvern. Right there, if you can see it good, that bridge over there. That would be the bridge between Arverna City and Cross Bay Town. All that water out there you're seeing, that is all Undella Bay. There's a bus. Yeah, all that water out there would be the real Undella Bay. Here's an abandoned courthouse. I was about to take pictures of that. It's a pretty interesting place. Right through here, all this water here, everything you're seeing, that's all part of Undella Bay, or the real life equivalent of Undella Bay. As I said before, if we were in the Pokemon world, we'd be looking out on Undella Bay at Castelia City, and as far as my fan-created East Unova goes, over there would be the island where Cross Bay Town would be, as well as the Pokemon Wildlife Sanctuary, which one of the commenters on my YouTube video, my previous video, I forgot his name, actually mentioned that the Wildlife Sanctuary would have actually fit in well with the storyline of the game, which I don't know because I haven't played the game yet. I will as soon as I beat Soul Silver. But looking out on here, you could see a lot of the different areas that you could see from East Unova that are included in the game. Of course, Castelia City would be Lower Manhattan, as we can see out here. And just past the island where Cross Bay Town and the Wildlife Sanctuary are would be where the Undella Bay Sunken Ruins would be located. Okay, I know all this talk about East Unova, which isn't even an actual official region in the game, is probably a little pretentious, but it lets me relate some of the stuff from where I'm at physically to the actual official in-game Unova region over here. And this obnoxiously shaky shot is the bridge, which in real life is called the Marine Parkway Bridge, or the Gil Hodges Memorial Bridge, which in East Unova I call the Azure Bridge because it's blue and has sort of scrolly tops on its the towers of the drawbridge, which resemble clouds. And directly beneath the bridge, as we can see in this shot and in this photo, directly beneath the bridge span, you're looking right at the real New Vemetown. This bridge will cross on the neck of Undella Bay and go straight from what I call Seclusa Town in the games, which in real life is, what's it called? It's called Breezy Point, which is actually just past this bridge in real life. But in the game world, I just make it so that the bridge would go straight into Seclusa Town. And Benshurst and Brighton Beach. So this bridge I'm looking at here would be the bridge I'm going to circle on the map that I'm going to edit into the video between East Unova and the actual in-game Unova region. Over there's a beach and a park, and further down would be Breezy Point, which I call Seclusa Town. But just crossed the bridge. Okay, so here we got a little map of Unova here and the map of New York. We are right around where my finger is. We are right here, and what I'm looking at now, right here, or here on Unova, is the airfield where Ash first arrived in Unova in the first episode of Pokemon Black and White. And looking all through here is Floyd Bennett Field, which is the old airfield and seaplane base that I told you about. Here we have some, it's no longer used as an airport, but it's parkland and stuff. Now here are some of the plane hangars. Yeah, it's the actual tarmac's a bit overgrown. There's a bike path here. They turned this into a nice recreational area. So there's here's the real life airport where Ash would have showed up. The facilities that took seaplanes are just demolished now. And so, of course, what that means is here they turned this area into some sort of park. We're stopped at a red light presently. So just to clarify, like I said in the other video you should watch and supplement to this one, Ash arrived right over here and in the anime, and there's the seaplane base, and we just crossed over from here. That's a little bit of East Unova there. That would be just right off the map of the game. We are right here, and what that means is that we are on the same airfield and the same parkway that Professor Juniper drove Professor Oak and his mom down in the first episode when they were going from the seaplane base to New Town where the lab is. And so, of course, the bridge going over the neck of what would be Undella Bay is just what we just crossed over, and that feeds directly into what it would be known as the Belt Parkway. You can see the sign up there, Belt Parkway. And what I'm showing you, what you're seeing through the camera right now, I actually showed you pictures of this area in the other video. This is, once we turn here, this is exactly some of the scenes that from the anime, like when Ash saw all those wild deerling, when he saw that flock of Pidove was flying overhead, that's all this area right here. And yes, this is also in New York City proper. Just to clarify, because I've had some people actually express disbelief that anything that's not totally tarmacked over could be Manhattan. I mean, it could be New York City. So, yeah, this would be right where the driving scene in the show started. And over here, which is kind of unique, and you used to see lots of it, but not really so much anymore. There's literally a gas station right here in the middle of the road. You used to see a lot of this down this parkway, but not so much these days. So in the anime, this area to my left here, this was all still heavily forested. Here it's mostly cut down. There's still lots of trees here. I think there might be a golf course or something over there. And if you look through there, you can see the bridge we just crossed over from East Unova, in real life the Rockaway Peninsula. So when Ash looks to his left from where he's sitting, and he looks out and he sees a body of water with a bunch of swans in it. You can't see. Oh, here we go. I don't know how well you can see it, but right across see the water here? That's the scene. This is all that was all actually drawn in the background in the animation of the show. To the point where I'm sure they may have even actually used reference photos. Where I'm looking at, right down there, right down the road here, see those buildings down there? That would be New Town. And actually, if you look at that building right where my finger is, that is actually a college, which you could, yeah, all that over there is, all that's the college, and you could, if you want to take a bit of a stretch, you could stake that as being analogous to Professor Juniper's lab. And of course, you know, that's just a rough analogy. I'm not saying they literally based the lab on the college. Well, right now, going under this bridge here, we are right around in here, making that turn. You can see it from overhead better. We are entering the area down here of Nuvema Town. You can't see a whole lot of it because we're up on the highway. We're a bit sort of removed from the action of the town. But if you want to take this and compare it to the shots you can see in the anime, the brief moments where Professor Juniper's driving Ash through in her Jeep thing, you could compare that and to judge for yourself how realistic the actual scenery is. So once again, I keep pointing back and forth, slightly blurry picture here, but yeah, we just crossed over from the peninsula, what I call East Unova here, and we just took the parkway from where the airfield be here down to Nuvema Town area. Just taking this sights a bit. But right under there, as you can see, is the biggest train yard in the city, possibly in North America. All that's all where they keep all the subway trains at. There are a few yards, but this is by far the largest. So that's where your battle subways are being kept up after you mess them up fighting with them. Past the bridge there, you can't see it well on the camera, is it would be Castelia City, and see that tower, that Eiffel Tower looking thing, that's the parachute jump, and all over there is the Coney Island where all the parks are. Leaving Nuvema Town, the Nuvema Town area, and those big towers up there, that is the Verrazano Bridge. We know Unova, the creators love they really love their bridge scenery. So here's the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, and it connects Brooklyn with Staten Island. And Staten Island, despite the excuse to have this huge, beautiful bridge in the games, because they love their bridge scenery with the Sky Arrow Bridge and so forth, despite the fact they actually, Staten Island is one of the boroughs of New York City, but it is not included in the game. Even though there's sort of plenty of opportunity, there are plenty of primeval forests on Staten Island and stuff that would have been great in a Pokemon game, a game where you're out in nature catching creatures, of course. But they did not include that in the game. And I haven't made so much of a stink about it because I'm not from Staten Island and haven't spent much time there. But yeah, that's another area that would have been great in the games that they didn't have in there. So. We just passed where the Verrazano Bridge would be, and we are looking directly onto Castelia City. And I don't know how well you can see it. See that right where my finger is? That's the Statue of Liberty, which technically is in New Jersey, territorially speaking, but her butt is to New Jersey actually, so as far as I'm concerned, she's in New York. Checking in again real quick. There's the Verrazano Bridge, so we just passed there. We're up around here now, and looking out towards that way, not much of a view. There was a moment ago we're a bit more elevated, but we would be looking directly at Accumula Town and Stratton City. So see what you can over there. Of course, it's a lot more built up in real life than it is in the games. So this is as close to Accumulatown, Stratton City as we're going to get on this this tour here. All right, so we've got a decent view of a lot of the forest that's around here, a lot of the treetops. You know, it's not totally paved over. You know, there's still a lot of woods and forests and stuff and park areas. And of course, over there, would be once again Castelia City, which would be, of course, Lower Manhattan. So, where we're looking at it there, where we're approaching from, okay, we started over here, we are now over here. We are looking at this right here, which in the game map would be there. So, take a nice look at it. Once we get past, over there would be, I forgot the name of the city, but the city, wherever this place is, that would be all down over there, where I'm pointing at now. And of course, we're getting ready to cross into Manhattan or into Castelia City. We are nice and high up. I don't know if you can see the ground there, but yeah, if you're freakish about heights. And of course, we have a train coming through right there. That is not the A train. That would not go directly into the areas I just showed you earlier. But yeah, that would be that area right there. That would be Castelia City. And down there, that would be the desert, actually. Can't get a good view of it. Oh, another train. I'm like Doug from Up. Whenever there's a train around, I'm like, train! So, of course, because since I'm super train station age, so whenever there's a train, it's going to take precedence over any other scenery that I happen to be filming. But, yeah, right down over there would be where the desert would be, and there would be Castelia City. And the Nintendo World store would actually be would be technically within the desert, but it would sort of be in Mombasa Town sort of area, which corresponds well with the theater district. All right, so we are now preparing to enter Castelia City, which would be over here. If you look out, the way my camera works, it makes things seem a lot farther away than they are, and boom, there's Castelia City for you. We plan to, if you look out, you can actually see the Brooklyn Bridge. That would be the Sky Hour Bridge. So in the game, in real life, we're about to cross here. In the game, that would be right there. So so once the sun fades, there would be the real Sky Hour Bridge, and there would be Castelia City. Very midst of what would be Castelia City.
don't have a whole lot more to offer at this point besides more footage of me driving around Manhattan, but I would like to specifically use this video as an example of the sort of excitement of the imagination that can form when the worlds that you play in and the worlds that you live in intersect. And this is happening specifically. I can make this video because, you know, they made a region in Pokemon and based on New York City, and I happen to be able to do something like this to provide specific insight. But for me personally, this is what happens with all the different sort of fantasy universes I, approach. And a good fantasy, it doesn't replace your real life. It supplements and gets you more excited about the real world and gives you sort of some contrast to the real world. And really, if there are other worlds out there, ours has to be as weird and as interesting and as worth exploring as anything anyone from our world could make up. I could relate it to the games, but it has nothing to do with the games. The biggest adventure of all is real life, and that's basically what this video is all about.